MPs from the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha suspended for the rest of the winter session as politics over parliament breach now escalates. Opposition says it's not being allowed to question the Modi government. Their voice is being muzzled. Probe intensifies into Parliament security breach. Accused Sagar, who set off smoke cans inside Lok Sabha, says that he's done nothing wrong. Police teams reach out to his family members in Mysuru, further intensify their probe. ASI survey report on Gyanvapi submitted in court in a sealed cover. Details of artifacts discovered have been given to court. Hindu side says giving report in a sealed cover is against the Supreme Court order. ED summons Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in the Delhi Liquorgate case on December 21st. This is the second time Kejriwal has been summoned by the central agency. Earlier, he was summoned on the 2nd of November. Will he this time appear before the Enforcement Directorate? And showdown between Kerala Chief Minister and Governor Arif Mohammed Khan now escalates. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan accuses the Governor of instigating the youth of Kerala. Anti-Governor protests crop up outside Calicut University. And Italian Prime Minister's claims, or rather comment on Islam explodes, says Islamic culture and European values are incompatible, asserts no place for Islam in Europe. Media claims underworld Don Dawood Ibrahim has been hospitalized in Karachi due to serious illness. Speculation is he could have been poisoned. The place he's been hospitalized completely cordoned off. No other patients allowed in the hospital floor except for Dawood, and only family members allowed to visit him. All right, Kejriwal meeting with Mamata Banerjee ahead of the India Bloc meet. A big update coming in on the India Bloc meeting that's happening. Series of one-on-one meeting right ahead of that India Bloc meeting. Next, Kejriwal says that he's going to be meeting with Uddhav Thackeray right after meeting with Mamata Banerjee. Kejriwal to be attending the India meeting tomorrow. As we see that the India Bloc members this time showing all intentions to be part of the next meeting, which is going to be organized tomorrow. Kejriwal first meets with Mamata Banerjee of the TMC, and he says he's meeting with Uddhav Thackeray tomorrow as part of the India meeting. Paulami Saha joins us for more on that. Paulami, all India Bloc members, it appears this time around, have full intention to come together, be part of this India Bloc meeting yet again. Give us more on all the players who have committed to be present tomorrow. And how significant is this also in the backdrop of the Parliament suspension?
Well, obviously, as far as what's happening in Parliament is concerned, in terms of the suspension of the 92 members of Parliament during this winter session, it's going to be extremely significant how the India Bloc comes together tomorrow for that meeting and decides to corner the central government, both inside Parliament for the days that remain as far as this winter session is concerned, and outside Parliament. But also very significant is the fact that this is the meeting where they have to get down to the brass tacks. You've come up with the slogan, you've come up with the name, but it's down to seat sharing arrangement and a common minimum program right now. And that is going to be the focus. Many leaders like Mamata Banerjee, for instance, had wanted all of this decided upon even before these state assembly elections, the 5 states that went to pause before the Durga Puja holiday. So round about October 15th was the deadline which the TMC had set. But then it all got pushed because the Congress was very busy campaigning for the assembly elections. And now finally that meeting is taking place. They've just got a few more months before, of course, a couple of months possibly at best, before, of course, the model code of conduct for the general elections are announced. So it's left them with very little time to get down to the seat sharing arrangement and to, of course, decide on a common minimum program. Today, of course, Arvind Kejriwal made a courtesy call on Mamata Banerjee here in Delhi. Right now, Uddhav Thackeray is meeting with Arvind Kejriwal as well. So all top leaders, all party presidents will be present at tomorrow's meeting at 3 p.m.
All right, that's interesting. Arvind Kejriwal also has a lot of baggage that he will be carrying with him. has been issued a summons by the Enforcement Directorate in the Delhi liquor policy case on the 21st of December. So, and now with the backdrop of in Parliament suspension to the tune of nearly 100 members, all these opposition party leaders are going to be coming together for their fourth meeting of the India Bloc. Now, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar is expected to be attending this meeting, along with Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, several other prominent leaders as well. What's going to be the strategy here, really? Let's have a look.
The 26-member opposition bloc, India, will be meeting again on Tuesday, carrying forward the process of laying a broader roadmap against the BJP-led NDA at the centre. This will be the fourth such brainstorming session of the opposition alliance and the first since the assembly polls in the three Hindi heartland states. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, RJD Supremo Lalu Prasad Yadav and Deputy CM Tejaswi Yadav will attend the meeting.
हम लोग बैठ के उसकी बैठक है, हम लोग जा रहे हैं और मिलकर लड़ेंगे और इनको हटाएंगे हम।
All eyes will be on parties like AAP, TMC, Samajwadi Party, who appear to be striking a hard bargain, especially now since the Congress has been swept out of the heartland.
19 तारीख को माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी अरविंद केजरीवाल जी हमारे पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय संयोजक इंडिया गठबंधन की बैठक में हिस्सा लेंगे। उसके बाद उसके उपरांत ही जाएंगे और बैठक में तमाम राजनीतिक दल जो इंडिया अलायंस के झंडे तले आए हैं वो सब पहुंचेंगे और हम एक मजबूत प्रयास करेंगे कि एक बेहतर भारत के लिए एक बेहतर देश के लिए एक ब्लूप्रिंट जनता के सामने रखें।
The meeting was postponed from December 6 to December 19 after top leaders in the alliance including Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren and Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav decided to skip meeting called by the Congress at such short notice and without consultation. In the meeting tomorrow, the parties are expected to give a final shape to joint rallies and campaign programs.
हम 3 जगह हार गए हैं, लेकिन हारने के बावजूद हमारा वोट परसेंटेज में कम नहीं हुआ है। इन्हीं 3 राज्यों में हमारे बहुत सारे लोकसभा के सीट जीत के आएंगे। बिहार से बेहतरीन रिजल्ट होगा, तो इनके पास सीटें कहाँ से आ रही हैं? ये जो हमारा कह रहे हैं ना कि उत्तर भारत साउथ में ये साफ हो चुके हैं। तो इसलिए मिला जुला के तस्वीर इंडिया गठबंधन के पक्ष में होगी और भारतीय जनता पार्टी की जो कुरीतियां हैं, जो बेसिकली जो उनकी जो पॉलिसीज है, उनके खिलाफ देश की जनता वोट करेगी।
The opposition alliance has pitched caste census as a counter to Hindutva in the heartland states. But this did not yield any success in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. The parties will discuss a broader narrative to counter the BJP in the Lok Sabha polls. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, Paulami with us. On that, Paulami, you said very little time for seat sharing and discussing alliances. We saw the kind of drubbing that Congress received in 3 states of the Hindi heartland. So this meeting is going to be very crucial with most of the alliance members now trying to position themselves as the guiding light or the beacon for this opposition alliance, because Congress in that front has failed to deliver.
Well, obviously, you know, the smaller alliance partners, if you may, will come into this meeting feeling a lot more emboldened about putting forth their position, because in some ways the Congress was acting as the big brother as far as this alliance was concerned. And then, of course, came the drubbing in the 3 Hindi heartland states at the hands of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So it appears now that at least the smaller parties will be asserting themselves more as they go into this meeting. Already, of course, some of those parties have announced how many seats they will be contesting in various states. And that's going to be a challenge, because you're talking about seat sharing arrangement and announcements are being made otherwise publicly by some other parties already. So the give and take is going to be extremely crucial, because already you saw how the Samajwadi Party was sidelined by the Congress going into the Madhya Pradesh elections. So does that trust exist, or is there a trust deficit? That's the big challenge that all of these parties face. Today, of course, we had a brief and exclusive interaction with Mamata Banerjee, some journalist, and she, of course, was very politically correct, you know, in terms of jumping to any conclusions as to how the India, alliance could go forward, given, of course, the drubbing of the Congress in these assembly elections, and whether, for instance, a three-party alliance with the left and the Congress was possible for the Trinamool in West Bengal. That's unthinkable otherwise in political terms, but will that become a reality? Can she join hands with the Congress? She might, but can she join hands with the left party, which has been her ideological opponent? That's going to be a challenge. So that's just one instance of how many ideological challenges they'll have to jump over in order to reach that seat-sharing arrangement.
All right. Thanks very much, Pallavi, for joining us on that. Well, we know today what we saw was at least 100 MPs of both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, both suspended, the first time in a decade. And all of this happened over the parliamentary breach that happened on the 6th of December, where opposition leaders are now demanding that the Home Minister, Amit Shah himself, and Prime Minister Modi in the floor of the parliament speak and address the issue and give out a justification on how this security lapse even happened. While that ruckus went on, we believe that nearly 100 of the MPs have been suspended. And at the same time, we also hear assurances coming in from the Speaker as well as authorities who have said that the Delhi Police Special Cell has formed teams to they've nabbed the culprits. They are trying to find out if this is a larger nexus in 6 states of Rajasthan, Haryana, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Maharashtra. Investigation is on. They've questioned the accused family members, the accused themselves. Probe teams in Karnataka's Mysuru too, probing one of the accused, Manoranjan. Currently, he's been handed over to the special cell. Also, probe is underway in Haryana's Jind at Neelam's house, in Lucknow at Sagar Sharma's residence. All the accused were handed over to the special cell. Sagar Sharma, in fact, we believe, while speaking in a video call with his mother, has said he's done nothing wrong. In fact, he says this while at the same time all of the accused in this case, the intruders, have managed to destroy their mobile phones, burnt it, some of parts of which were found by the Delhi Police Special Cell team. So clearly, intention was to get away post this crime, but now that they're caught, they say they've done nothing wrong. Here's a detailed report, a demo from Sadhana Footwear Shop in Lucknow's Alambagh, where Sagar bought those shoes, where he tried to hide those smoke canisters he brought in to create that chaos and ruckus inside the parliament.
Sagar used a sports shoes to hide that color spray, and we are here at the Sadhana market of Lucknow, from where he purchased that particular shoes. And this is one shoes which I'll try to show you. One particular company, the same color, the shape, almost the same shape, which Sagar used. And if you see this particular shoes, you can clearly see the space inside the back end, where you can clearly use the blade to make some space, while in front you can also do that particular thing. I have tried this particular to show you the demo. I have this shoes in one of my legs, and if you clearly see that in the outer portion I have clear space where you can easily keep a spray, while in behind there is also a spray. Though if you make some changes with the blade, you can, this is the hard sole, and you can clearly rub it around or cut it around with the blade, and then and a spray could easily enter inside and get placed. While if you purchase a shoes are bigger than your leg, than your size, if your size is 7, you can buy around 8 or 9 size shoes. Then there is much space in that particular portion where you can clearly place that particular spray and do things. Though the family admitted that Sagar purchased that particular shoes from this shop, but it's not just about the shoes or the shop. It's about the intentions of Sagar, the way he was brainwashed, and the way he delivered this particular crime. With cameraman Sanjay Samarth Srivastava.
All right, now shifting our focus, Congress now launching a crowdfunding campaign, Donate for Desh. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge has launched this crowdfunding campaign called Donate for Desh for party ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha as they work up funds for party's campaign. The campaign aims at empowering the party to create an India rich in equal resource distribution and opportunities. That's what they say. They also want money to campaign as during the launch of the campaign, in fact, marking 138 years of the party's existence. Kharge donated himself 1,38,000. In a way, also suggesting that the party is lacking funds. If they've got to amplify their campaigns across the country, then they need people's support. Meanwhile, the BJP has hit out at the opposition party, alleging that it was another attempt to siphon off public money and enrich the Gandhis, the Gandhi family instead, pointed to the recent record cash seizure during the income tax raids against a company linked to a Congress MP in Odisha. Remember, the income tax department raids against an Odisha-based distillery firm linked to the Congress MP Dheeraj Sahu's family recently just concluded, where they managed to seize cash worth 351 crores, all hard cash.
आज बड़ा एक खुशी का दिन है कि हमारे पार्टी के सभी नेताओं ने मिलके एक ऐप तैयार किया है और ये मैं समझूंगा ये पहली बार है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी में लोगों से यानी आम जनता से मदद लेकर देश को बनाने के लिए ये किया है.
All right, now Bengal funds showdown escalates now with West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee launching a scathing attack at the centre. Mamata has alleged the central government is holding Bengal's funds for welfare schemes. Taking a dig at the BJP, Bengal Chief Minister has claimed that the centre will not release funds if Bengal doesn't paint health centres saffron. Mamata says that BJP wants to put out its logo everywhere and claim credit. She reached Delhi on Sunday after the India Bloc meet. Mamata will be also meeting Prime Minister Modi on the 20th of December to raise issues on Bengal funds.
আমাদের যে বাংলার বাড়ি প্রোগ্রাম তার সব টাকা বন্ধ করে দিয়েছে। ইভেন 11,000 স্যাংশন করেও 11 লাখ সেটাকে বন্ধ করে দিয়েছে যখন আমরা পুরো লিস্ট ফাইনাল করেছি। গ্রামীণ রাস্তার প্রোগ্রাম এগুলো সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্টের স্কিম, বাট সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্টের সব টাকাটা একার নয়, সেন্ট্রাল স্টেট মিলিয়ে করে। যে টাকাটা এখান থেকে তুলে নিয়ে যাওয়া হয় সেই টাকায় আমাদের শেয়ারটা, জিএসটি একটাই ট্যাক্স, এখন সেই ট্যাক্সের টাকাটা যে তুলে নিয়ে যায় তাতে আমাদের যে শেয়ারটা আছে সেই শেয়ারটা আমরা দিই, ওদের শেয়ারটা ওরা দেয়। সেক্ষেত্রেও স্বাস্থ্য দপ্তরের টাকাও বন্ধ করে দিয়েছে, নাকি গেরুয়া রং করতে হবে। মেট্রো স্টেশনগুলো দেখতে পাচ্ছেন তো সব গেরুয়া রং করে দিয়েছে।
All right, those were the updates on all the political news. Coming up on the other side, massive showdown in the parliament after nearly 100 MPs from both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha collectively have been suspended for the remainder of the winter session. The first of its kind, a move that has happened in the last 1 decade, clearly unprecedented. Now, we're going to take you through reactions of some of those MPs who've been suspended and also a justification coming in from the BJP itself. Stay with us.
India Today sweeps the ITA 2023 awards. From Best English News Channel India Today TV to Best Hindi News Channel Aaj Tak, and the ultimate ITA Scroll of Honor for Nari Shakti Exemplary Leadership.
ये गर्व का मौका है कि मेरे नारी शक्ति के समर्थन और संकल्प को इस मंच ने और ताकत दी है। लंबे वक्त से बहुत से लोग ये बताते रहे कि एक आदमी की सफलता के पीछे एक औरत का हाथ होता है। अब वक्त बदला है। हर सफलता खुद हासिल करने के लिए हम सब आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। आत्मनिर्भर भारत की नींव आत्मनिर्भर नारी शक्ति ही बनेगी। एक नई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इस सम्मान के साथ मुझे मिली है। मैं इसे अपनी पूरी कमिटमेंट से निभाऊंगी।
Most trusted, most awarded. India Today, India's maximum channel.
हलाल करके ही बेचते और खाते। मैं उनको धन्यवाद देता हूँ, मुझे भी सीख लेनी चाहिए। अगर मुसलमान अपने धर्म के प्रति समर्पित हैं तो सनातन हिंदू प्रथा में बलि प्रथा, तो मैं आप बच्चों से कह रहा हूं सभी से कि जो लोग झटका खाएंगे जरा हाथ उठाइए और संकल्प लीजिए कि हम जब भी खाएंगे तो झटका मीठ ही खाएंगे, क्योंकि सनातन हिंदू धर्म का बलि प्रथा झटका ही होता है, हलाल नहीं खाएंगे।
नीतीश तेजस्वी की सरकार के काम से बीजेपी घबराहट में है, बौखलाहट में है और भयभीत है। 2024 को लेकर के अब आदरणीय गिरिराज बाबू को याद आ रहा है हलाल और झटका। 24 में जनता का जब लगेगा पटका और लगेगा जब बीजेपी को झटका, तब समझ में आएगा। ये जो ज्ञान दे रहे हैं कि झटका खाना चाहिए, हलाल नहीं खाना चाहिए, ये राजनीति का विषय नहीं हो सकता है। यह पढ़ाई, कमाई, दवाई, सिंचाई, सुनवाई, कार्रवाई पर बात कब होगी?
ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है कि हम इस घटनाओं को लेकर कुछ राजनीति कर रहे हैं। ये किसी भी तरह की राजनीति करने वाली घटना नहीं है और इस घटना से कभी भी निलंबन जो माननीय सदस्यों है उस घटना से संबंध भी नहीं है। ये घटना अलग है और निलंबन का संबंध केवल संसद की गरिमा बनी रहे, उसकी प्रतिष्ठा बनी रहे, ये सबकी हमारी जिम्मेदारी है। मुझे दुख है, मैं कभी किसी माननीय सदस्य का निलंबन नहीं करना चाहता। मुझे बहुत व्यक्तिगत पीड़ा भी होती है कि जो मेरे माननीय सदस्य हैं उनका निलंबन करूं, लेकिन संसद की मर्यादा बनाए रखना, संसद की गरिमा बनाए रखना हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी है। विशेष रूप से आपकी भी उतनी जिम्मेदारी है और इसलिए संसद की परंपराओं परिपाटियों का श्रेष्ठ पालन हो। और जब नई संसद बनी थी तो हमने बैठकर सब दलों के नेताओं से चर्चा भी की थी कि हम तख्ती लेकर नहीं आएंगे, सदन की उच्च कोटि की गरिमा मर्यादा को बना के रखेंगे और किसी तरीके से हंगामा नहीं करेंगे।
Said that you will live to see the elimination of Hamas. What did you mean by that, and how important is it to eliminate Hamas?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And today is actually Hamas' 36th anniversary. Hamas was founded exactly 36 years ago today, on December 14th, 1987. And I hope that this year would be the year, the final year in Hamas and the end of 36 years of violence and destruction, of death and human suffering. I personally would like to see this happen because enough suffering, enough killing of children and civilians for political and religious gain. I think this game really needs to stop now and as soon as possible.
Okay. But when it comes to the United Nations, and if you look at all the conversations around United Nations, I ask you this because you yourself had gone and pleaded the case of why it is important to eliminate Hamas. As a Palestinian, to look at the kind of resolutions at the United Nations with an overwhelming support to bring about humanitarian ceasefire. We do know that they talk about human shields and that Hamas uses civilians as human shields. But at the end of the day, Musab, in your appreciation, do you think that the actions that are continuing against Hamas in Gaza Strip is not a direct attack against the civilians?
Well, the Hamas is using the Gazan civilians as human shields. This is a war crime, and the civilian casualty in Gaza Strip is basically Hamas' responsibility as the governing authority. People voted for Hamas.
Co-powered by PolicyBazaar.com. हर family होगी insured. Tata Safari. Reclaim your life.
All right, we see no end to the political slugfest over Parliament security breach. Both houses of the Parliament today witnessed this uproar over the December 13th incident, demanding Home Minister Amit Shah himself to address the House on the security breach in the Parliament. In fact, all the opposition MPs, most of them, stormed the well of the House in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and the ruckus was such that the Lok Sabha Speaker has suspended in both Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. At least close to 100 MPs have been suspended, an unprecedented move in nearly a decade. With just barely 5 days left for the Parliament now to function, we're seeing 46 MPs from the Lok Sabha, 46 MPs from the Rajya Sabha have now been suspended for the remainder of the winter session. Let me quickly cut across to Saket Gokhale, who's an MP with the Rajya Sabha of the TMC, joining us. Mr. Saket, thanks for speaking to India today. You're one of those who've been suspended, nearly 100 MPs suspended in an unprecedented move. While I did speak with a BJP MP himself, he says that they called for it. The opposition has asked for it. They do not believe in civilized conversation, a discussion rather. Heckling is the norm that you have displayed all through.
Thanks, Mr. Jamal. First of all, a clarification. I have not been suspended. I am among the only 3 in my party in the Rajya Sabha that have not been suspended. So no, I wasn't being obscene. I wasn't heckling. I wasn't doing any of that. All that we were demanding for the last several days is that Home Minister Amit Shah come and address the Parliament. He's in fact made a statement on your channel first about the Parliament attack, the security breach. And all we've been asking, we followed the procedure first. We submitted Rule 2667 notices every day since the 13th of December. None of these notices were entertained by the government. Today morning, the list of business for the day said that Mr. Amit Shah is going to come and table 2 bills in Parliament. Mr. Amit Shah was so scared of addressing the Parliament that he did not show up in the Rajya Sabha and he sent the MOS home. Now, the simple question is this. If we are apparently creating a ruckus and, if the government wants to have a civilized discussion, the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha today said that no legislative business is possible when the House is not in order. Fine. When the House is not in order, no legislative business is possible. But today, without any debate, the government managed to pass 2 very important bills in the Rajya Sabha. So how was that parliamentary business carried out if the House was not in order? They had enough order to pass 2 bills today, but Home Minister Amit Shah just asking him to come gets not 1, not 2, not 10, not 20, 92 MPs suspended. 92. I mean, this is unprecedented in the history of independent India.
The BJP more often than not says that this has happened during the Congress regime as well. We've seen this may be unprecedented in a decade, but similar scenes were witnessed in 89. The blame game there continues, not justifying the move, but this is the response.
I mean, then we can also say that, we were under a colonial power like the British and the BJP is behaving. I mean, how far back in history should we go? Should we talk about the Rowlatt Act? Should we talk about how dissent was cracked down upon the British and the BJP is doing the same? This whole rubbish of going into history and Congress did this and the British did this and Akbar did this and Tipu Sultan did this and Mughal did this. How far back do we have to go? We're talking today, 2023, on the anniversary, not just on an ordinary day, on the anniversary of the Parliament attack. Parliament was breached. Not just the compound of the Parliament, but the House where MPs sit was breached.
Yet you do have SIT teams that have been formed. You have probe that's happening in 6 states. The accused have been arrested. Now, what beyond? You want the Prime Minister and the Home Minister to address, yes, but does that mean it derails all conversation for a fruitful discussion in the rest of the winter session?
I'll tell you what is the most interesting thing. SIT has been formed, all of these things. I'm learning from you. I'm a member of Parliament. Is it too much for me when my Parliament, where I sit, has been attacked, to have the Home Minister come and address the Parliament? I'm learning all these facts from you. Why should I have to learn the facts of what is happening and what happened and what is being done on television? Is the Home Minister not a member of Parliament? Is it not his duty to come and address parliamentarians and tell them all these things? I mean, are we going to run the Parliament from India today now, or are we going to run it in the actual new Parliament building that is supposed to be so glorious?
So it appears to me, and this is in conversation with some of the BJP netas, they say Parliament, the new Parliament at least, will not tolerate heckling. If the opposition members think that they can create ruckus at every given situation, not wanting to discuss issues in an orderly manner, then this is how they're going to be dealt with. This is a message being sent out.
I don't know what message they're sending, what new parliament. I mean, basically opposition is not going to be tolerated in the new parliament. Civilized discussion, very simple. We submitted a notice. Why is it so difficult for Mr. Amit Shah to come and have a 1-hour discussion? What is stopping him? We're very happy to sit down, listen to him. What is stopping him? Again, we're asking, we've submitted 267 notices. He's refusing to come to Rajya Sabha. My question is, we'll have a wonderful civilized discussion. We'll give him roses and, we'll say Modi, Modi and all of that. But Parliament to aiye. Parliament aane se kyun dar rahe ho aap? You're suspending 92 MPs. But funny part is, the Lok Sabha MP Pratap Simha, who issued the passes for people who disrupted and attacked the Parliament, he has not been suspended as of today. 92 India MPs have been suspended, but no action has been taken against the MP who jeopardized national security by signing visitor passes for those who disrupted the Parliament. So this will not be tolerated, that will not be tolerated. Let me put this very simply. We saw what the BJP did in 2013-14. We all know what Mr. Arun Jaitley, Sushma Swaraj said. What the BJP tolerates, doesn't tolerate, they're running a dictatorship. When they say that we will not tolerate this, tolerate that, as if the parliament belongs to their uncle. But that's fine. Let them say whatever they want to tolerate, not tolerate in the parliament building. The BJP should not forget that they will very soon, in fact, be sitting in the opposition. And we will remember everything about how the parliament was run under the BJP. And we will give the same gyan to them the moment they're sitting in the opposition.
All right, Saket, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. You're one of those opposition MPs who hasn't been suspended. Maybe we'll hear from you on...
What happens tomorrow? Who knows what happens tomorrow? I mean, this is a modified democracy, so maybe...
we suggest you stay back to communicate. At least you could be the mediator to all the other suspended MPs of the opposition. You have the big India Bloc meeting tomorrow as well. You could be one of those mediators for them. Thank you very much.
I just want the Home Minister to come. Thank you. I just want the Home Minister to address us. That's what I'm going to ask for tomorrow as well, and my party too.
Thank you, Saket. Well, we have JB Madhav, MP of the Rajya Sabha Congress. We also have Tom Vadakan of the BJP joining us. Thank you, both of you, for speaking to India Today. And of course, Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, MP Rajya Sabha of the BJP. Mr. Sudhanshu, I'm going to cut straight to you first. If you could give me a perspective on what's happened in the parliament today. You were witness to that in the Rajya Sabha. Would you agree with this kind of suspension, a move that one could call unprecedented? In over a decade, we haven't seen something like this. 100 MPs in both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha suspended. You have bills coming up. It's almost a quarter of the House gone. Several questions being raised of the arrogance of the government and, of course, the Speaker. Your take on that?
Today, what happened in the House, in Rajya Sabha, because I was there, it is unprecedented in the parliamentary history. Chairman has adjourned the House and said that leader of the House and leader of the opposition should meet me in my chamber to find out a solution. There was not going to be any shouting. Other just 3 members are sitting. Chairman means Vice President, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar ji, leader of the House, Piyush Goyal ji, and leader of the opposition, Khadge ji. And leader of the opposition denied that I will not come. I will not come in the chamber of chairman. Can they quote a single instance in the entire history of the country? This is utter disrespect to the chair. And if they are trying to quote, कि भाई सुषमा स्वराज जी ने तब ये किया था, अरुण जेटली जी ने, I say with a humble petition, show a single photo, a single video in which Sushma Swaraj ji or Arun Jaitley ji was in the well, shouting, having these placards in their hand, and the floor leaders like Sanjay Singh and Derek O'Brien has jumped to the table, has thrown the book, uprooted the mic. हमारे किसी नेता ने किया हो तो बताइए ना. If you are consistently creating these type of scenes over the last several sessions of parliament, you remember last year, chairman of Rajya Sabha, vice chair, deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha has said कि मेरे ऊपर हिंसक हमला हुआ, a violent attack. So I just want to say that whatever the opposition is showing is sheer arrogance when you are not even ready to meet the chairman on his formal request on the floor of the House. Forget about that you denied the order of going outside the House. So I think This is compelled with pain and anguish to the chairman to take this decision.
Right. Mr. Trivedi, Sudhanshu Trivedi, please do stay with us. I have with me J.B. Madar, MP of the Rajya Sabha Congress, who is a witness to all of this. J.B., this is clear. The Speaker wanted to send a message out that this kind of behavior is not tolerated, at least in the Naya Sansad, the new parliament, orders and mandates for discipline. And this has been the norm and behavior of the opposition through many sessions of the parliament in the recent past. So there you have it, 100 MPs suspended. It's shocking.
Well, see, what's happening these days in Parliament and in our country is unprecedented in history, because one thing that's unprecedented is two infiltrators jumping from the gallery to the house, which has never happened before. And now, secondly, when we put forth a demand for the Home Minister or the Prime Minister to come and answer, make a statement in the Parliament, when we make that request, it is very unfortunate that first 14 MPs were suspended, and by today we have over 90 MPs, Member of Parliament, suspended for asking a demand for the Prime Minister and Home Minister to come and make a statement. And where is the sense of accountability in our country now? Those who seek answers, those who ask questions inside the House, about what has happened inside the Parliament, inside the Lok Sabha, they are being suspended. I mean, it is very clear the ruling dispensation wants the opposition wiped out. They have reached a sense of intolerance level where they cannot take any question, any demand, any answers which are sought by the opposition. It is very clear. See, it is quite natural in a democracy.
We heard you. Do you believe this is suiting the India Bloc agenda? You have a big meeting tomorrow, a suspension of this nature. Do you believe it's going to invite sympathy? You may say no, but at the end of it, this has also managed to bring, or rather unite, the opposition together. And why I ask this specific question is because the BJP claims that this is an attempt to try and come together and show unity, boycott the parliament deliberately so that you drum up noise for your upcoming India Bloc meeting.
Asking the Prime Minister or the Home Minister to make a statement on a grave security breach is not making noise. It is not destruction. It's not disruption of Parliament. We are raising the voice of the people of India, where everybody is concerned. If this has happened inside the Parliament, which is the most secure place, it can happen anywhere. I mean, this cannot be, taken it as a very normal thing to happen.
Okay.
Definitely, it's not a normal thing.
We heard you. This is not normal. It's not happened in a decade. We agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. But do stay with us. Let me cut across to Tom Vadakan of the BJP. Mr. Tom, here's what we saw in the parliament, which doesn't show a lot of them in good light. Neither does it show the opposition in good light, nor the ruling. If this happened to the BJP in an opposition-ruled state where the BJP is in a minority and you have quarter of your assembly members suspended, would you tolerate it? And it's not as if the BJP in opposition states haven't stormed into the well of the house with banners and slogans and tried to disrupt proceedings.
Well, to begin with, this whole narrative that is being built has a background. The background is the investigation that is on and the heat that has come on to some of the opposition parties. It's like, setting fire and then calling the fire brigade and joining them to, create a situation that you are not a participant. So what has happened today is the investigating agency is busy, and there is going to be major exposures coming. And that exposure will expose many in the opposition team. If that happens, that is the time when when the Home Minister will respond and they will all walk out of the house, as it happened on Manipur issue. When they complete, the Prime Minister
But Mr. Vadakan, these are really crucial issues which the opposition and the people of the country have the right to demand. They want to hear the Prime Minister or the Home Minister speak, addressing a situation as complex and serious of that nature, be it Manipur or the Parliament security breach.
Has there been a refusal? No. The timing of the Prime Minister's address or the Home Minister's address, it will be also connected with the report that they have. This is, when you speak in Parliament, you're not there to tell lies. You are there to speak the truth, and the truth will come out only in an investigation. If they want to speak about it, they'll create this fury and create a situation where there's anarchy in this country. That is the objective of these so-called terrorists who have entered the premises. And who are the people who are supporting them? They say they are unemployed. They're not unemployed. 6 telephones were burnt, and they were traveling all over the country, locating people. Who's financing all this? This has to come out. And when this comes out, you won't find, Nabila, watch out. They will walk out of Parliament when the reports are laid in the House. And when the Home Minister or Prime Minister decides to speak. This is the situation that's going to emerge. And they are creating this drama to just grab headlines and say, well, there's an anarchy happening. Now, tell me something. They are defending those people who entered the House. They're saying they're unemployed. On what basis are they saying they're unemployed?
That's shameful. There is no justification for that crime, and it's rightfully so that UAPA has been slapped. A terror act has been...
And they come and defend.
It has to be considered a terror threat and nothing less. It's a Parliament House. It could have been anything else, a poisonous gas for all you know. That they came in with such... with ease that they walked into the Parliament. That's also really shocking, which, yes, there should be a justification and an investigation will bring out that. But is it fair to jump the gun to claim that these intruders were innocent? Well, surely not. But at this point, when a fruitful discussion is expected, we have 5 more days of the Parliament to end the winter session. You have 100 MPs who are suspended. I'd cut across straight to Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi there. Mr. Trivedi, here you have 3 bills that you have to table. You want to ideally get the vote either for or against, but you should be ideally involving the opposition in the bills that you've placed. A discussion should happen, but now you have 100 of your MPs missing collectively in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. This raises a lot of questions on the sanctity of the bill or the intentions with which you want to pass these bills without a proper discussion with the opposition involved.
It's very easy. If they shed their arrogance and they tender an apology, then it can be considered. I just want to ask you one question, that if any of the student denies the teacher's order of, teacher says you go out of the class, he said no, I will not go, then what should be the action? Even in your channel, if there is a meeting and your chairman says that meet me in my chamber for officially discuss this, and you say I will not come, and what I got the information that might be he has given in writing that I will not come, then you tell me, and the millions of viewers which are watching, they just tell what should be the action. So it was compelled by the act of opposition, not by the desire of the chairman.
All right, but what if, Mr. Sudhanshu, if the same thing happened to you in an opposition ruled state? In Karnataka, you have the opposition in a brute majority. The Congress is nearly 135. The BJP is about 64, 65 odd. There have been many times that the BJP leaders have also stormed the well of the assembly, raising slogans. So this is not as if this has not happened in opposition ruled states, be it even West Bengal, where the BJP has created quite some ruckus in the assembly house. What if there was a suspension? Would you accept it the same way, where your MLAs were suspended en masse?
When you reminded of the assembly, so I would like to remind that in assemblies, you know what happened? BJP leaders were beaten. They were in blood. December 1993, UP State Assembly, in which SP, BSP and Congress I were running the government. Even then, the previous speaker, Keshrinath Tripathi ji, who has to be taken on stature. In 22nd October 1997, UP State Assembly, again the similar scene was created and they were beaten, the mics were thrown and many of the persons were wounded. So they have already created this type of scene, and whatever the decision was taken, it was turned down by the court. Even Sri R.K. Narayan, who was, K.R. Narayanan, who was the president at the time, he has rejected the recommendation of the government and given them for reconsideration during Gujarat government. I'm talking about 1997. So they themselves have created, they are in the habit of creating these type of scenes since ages, when the BJP was not at all in power in the central government. Forget about Modi ji and Amit Shah ji.
All right, Mr. Sudhanshu, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time for joining us. But a quick word from JV, the Congress MP. Ma'am, you have barely 5 days that remain. What is the Congress and the opposition that we intend to do? Have you all strategized a way forward? Do you want to go back to respond on the suspension for the Speaker to revoke it? Is there a plan that you have in mind in place? Do share with us.
Nabila, see, one thing we are very clear. The aim of the ruling dispensation is to silence the opposition on whatever issues we try to take it up, whether it was Manipur, whether it is price rise, whether it is unemployment, and now whether it is the grave security breach that happened in the parliament. But let me make it very clear that we are not the ones who would back out from what we have intended. Our intention is very clear. We are the voice of the people, and we will continue to demand answers. We will continue to register our protest. We will continue to be the voice of the people. And as far as we are concerned, that in a parliament, the voice of opposition needs to be heard. But if you look at the attitude of the present government, they have zero intolerance. They do not have, they cannot be, they do not understand the meaning of respecting others' views. They do not take,
But Ms. JB, if you're going to be shouting and screaming in the Parliament House, where is the opportunity for any civilized discussion? There's no room and space for anyone to speak or say anything. If you're hard-pressed on just having the Prime Minister or the Home Minister to be speaking without investigations actually have been completed. Now the investigation is still ongoing. Without completing investigation to make a premature statement, are you inviting that?
They can come and say that in the parliament. The Home Minister goes to channel and says that he can very well come and say it where we have reached. It's not the case that after everything only they will respond. They can always say the investigation is going on. It has reached this much. This is the thing. This is the thing. At least take the House into confidence.
Yeah.
That is the basic thing we are demanding. We'll definitely continue to make our demands, and on larger issue of derailment of democracy also we want to do it, because this is not a small issue that 92 MPs being suspended for seeking the answer from the Home Minister is unheard of in the country.
We heard you, Tom Vadakan. I'm going to close with you on that. A punishment should really fit the crime. Do you think that this is really the most stringent punishment to be given to MPs at a time when you're ideally supposed to be taking them into confidence and maybe discussing more productive issues, including security breach?
Security breach is a matter to be investigated by the security agencies. And this is not a running commentary to be given. Yes, investigation is going on and it is at this stage. I think that's not the role of the Home Minister. The Home Minister speaks in confidence on exactly what has happened. Who are the people behind it? Why are they shying away from the fact that so many bills are to be passed, and that's in the interest of the people? This is not a private limited company which is passing a bill. This is something to do with the people of India. You are not permitting bills to be passed, and you say you're connected with the people of India. I'm shocked.
All right. Well, the Congress has their opinion. The opposition collectively say that the people's voice is being muzzled post the suspension. But we'll see what happens. The Parliament winter session goes on until the whole of next week. We're seeing now 100, at least we'll see 100 MPs missing in action there. Thanks very much for watching. Stay with us.
After the massive North-South debate that erupted after the recent assembly elections, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's mega step for North-South Connect. With the beginning of the second edition of the Kashi-Tamil Sangamam at Namo Ghat, Prime Minister Modi flagged off a new Vande Bharat between Banaras and Kanyakumari to link the two important religious sites of the country. This initiative aligns with his vision of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, emphasizing unity and cultural integration across the nation.
एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत के विजन की वीणा के तार को झंकृत किया।
काशी तमिल संगमम ऐसा ही अविरल प्रवाह है जो एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत इस भावना को लगातार मजबूत कर रहा है।
The Prime Minister called relations between Kashi and Tamil emotional as well as creative. Earlier, Prime Minister Modi held a roadshow and received a grand welcome. Prime Minister Modi flagged off the Bharat Sankalp Yatra and attended the exhibition where he met school children and beneficiaries of Modi government schemes.
विकसित भारत संकल्प यात्रा जो है ना, वो एक प्रकार से मेरी भी कसौटी है, मेरी एग्जामिनेशन है कि मैंने जो कहा था और जो मैं काम कर रहा था, मैं आपके मुंह से सुनना चाहता था और देश भर से सुनना चाहता हूं।